Ooh. Hello everyone and welcome back to Ejima. In this video, I'm Nnena and I will be discussing a long overdue topic, Bank of America's Community Affordable Loan Solution. All right, this has been on my agenda for the past 2 months. Yes, I was aware when the program just piloted early September around Labor Day, and literally I've been meaning to go to the bank ever since then. Please don't judge me. A lot happened. I started a new job. But finally, I made it to the bank this morning, and I said I must film this video because everything is fresh in my mind. Things have changed, so beware. There are some updates because I have watched some previous videos, and some of the information that was in those previous videos is not necessarily what is currently happening right now, at least to my knowledge, according to what I was told, and I was sent an email with all this information. So once in a while, if you see me looking down, I have my laptop, I have my notes, a lot of information I can't remember all offhand. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. All right, first and foremost, for anyone who's not aware, about 2 months ago, Bank of America launched its Community Affordable Loan Solution Program, which basically is trying to get more minorities into home ownership. All right. So previously they did have another program, but I was told today by the loan officer that this is basically a continuation of the other loan program. The program currently, we are talking about Community Affordable Loan Solution. They will just be looking at your credit history and some other factors, which I will be going over later. So first and foremost, when I heard about this program in September, I was like, this kind of is too good to be true. Like, is this really real? Like, why would there be a program like this? They're committed to giving you $10,000 towards your closing costs, no down payment. The only restriction is that you must buy property in a minority populated area. So that means you must live in an area that's predominantly occupied by minorities, specifically Blacks and Hispanics, I believe. However, you don't need to be Black or a minority to purchase this property. Okay, anyone can purchase it. So that's another issue that's going on. A lot of people are talking about this is gentrification. This is a way to do redlining because a lot of people that are going to be able to buy are not necessarily going to be people that are minorities, but that's a topic for another day. So I'm like, okay, anyone that knows me knows I'm not really that crazy about home ownership. I know, yeah, it's like the trend, equity, generational wealth. I get it, but I just grew up with a single mother owning a home. And maybe because it was an older home, I just felt like she was always fixing it. Like, I get it, you know, she gets money off of it, it's an investment, but me, the way I like to live my life, I don't want to do all that running around. Like, I know home ownership isn't bad, but the way I look at it is that I don't equate home ownership to wealth, and I don't equate renting to not having money. And I think that's what the current society tries to do. It's like, oh my God, if you don't own a house, what are you doing? You don't have money. Like, there's millionaires who rent, right? And there's people who are broke who have houses who can't make the payments. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't have that mindset like, oh, the American dream is to own a home, right? But obviously if there's a way that I can get a home with no money down, closing costs covered, and basically be paying like what I pay in rent for my mortgage, I would take the opportunity. Like, why not? You get what I'm saying? Because I'm paying a mortgage. It's not like I'm not paying anything. I'm like maybe living for free. I'm paying rent every month. And as we all know, rent is increasing. Housing market in Charlotte is crazy as well right now. So let me give you a breakdown of the program. So before you can even get a pre-approval, you have to go through 2 steps. Okay, the first step is a homebuyers education, which can be online, in person, or via Zoom. Then you have to do one-on-one counseling. Okay, I was told by the loan officer that one-on-one counseling right now is getting booked out, and like some people can't schedule that for like months out. Just an FYI. Okay, that's how you get your certification. After you get your certification, then you can get pre-approved. And I was told that the process of getting your certification can take anywhere from 1 to 2 months. That's the time frame. Then you can get pre-approved. A question I had was, do these homes, I had a list of questions. Oh, some of them are on my phone. Ugh. Well, I'll put them up here. The question I had was, can these homes be new construction? I don't know why. I just wanted to make sure because I'm like, I don't want them to say it has to be like, I don't know. I just thought maybe there'd be a restriction. They said they can be new construction. How long will it take to close on the loan? I was told normal 30 to 45 days, minimum debt to income ratio, 43% income usually. It can be up to 50%. Is there a penalty if you sell your property early? No. Do you have to pay money back? No. Current interest rates, he said, is in the 7s, which is high. However, he said that when he started about 20 years ago, interest rates were in the 9% and that was normal. So I guess, I don't know. He's not gonna lie, he said the interest rates are pretty high. And I said, must I live there long term? No, and you must be there as your primary residence. You wouldn't be able to like buy this home and rent it out. So let's talk about what you can do to qualify, right? So I watched another video earlier that I watched before, and it was saying that you need $100,000 to $120,000 income. But I was told today the max income is $137,550 for the application. So what that would mean is that if you or your partner both want to be on the application, you cannot make more than $137,550 to qualify. However, even if you have someone, let's say, you have you have your husband, you have your wife, and you make more than that, you can still apply. It just means that one person wouldn't be able to be on the application. For example, let's say right now I make $120,000. I don't. And my man, he makes like $200,000. Obviously together we make more than $137,550. So in that case, me or him would have to choose who would be on the application. It doesn't mean that we wouldn't be eligible. It's just we wouldn't be eligible to do it together. You get what I'm saying? He said something about like later on, something like under contract is, maybe, but basically that's on the application, it will be one person if you don't meet that income qualification. Versus the other program that I talked about, which this is an extension of, the max should be $73,000. So that's about $60,000 difference. So it definitely gives way more people an opportunity for a path to home ownership. Okay. Another thing he mentioned is I was getting confused about this whole debt to income ratio because I usually hear about it like being 30%. Like, I don't know, the way I heard it, he was wording it differently, so I was getting confused. So this is an example he gave me. I said, okay, what if I have $80,000 in student loans? He said it'll be calculated 0.5% would equal $400. They will multiply whatever you have in student loans, if it's deferred student loans, by 0.5%, so 0.5%. So that gave me $400. So that would be my monthly amount they would use for my debt to income ratio. You get what I'm saying? Because right now I'm not paying student loans, right? I don't have a monthly payment, but they still have to use something. So that's how they calculate. They take your student loans times 0.5%. Okay. He said, because the underwriting can't take zero. They can't use zero as a number. Because right now, because of the loan deferment and everything going on, zero is listed on my like monthly how much I need to pay for loans, but they can't use that number, right? Because when I have a house and I'm paying loans, they have to make sure that I'll be able to also pay my mortgage and pay my student loans. Okay. As far as what you would have to pay with this program, I was told that I would be responsible for tax and insurance, and the bank pays $10,000 down and all closing costs. So let's talk about this credit score, because for me, that wasn't really a concern because I'm just blessed that I don't have credit issues. We thank the Lord. But I know this is an issue for a lot of people, especially because nowadays things are so expensive. A lot of people have a lot of debt and a lot of people have credit issues. So there's no minimum credit score. However, credit history requires 1 to 2 years of established credit, 3 accounts with 12 months payment history, open or closed. 1 needs to be open. No 30-day late payment within the most recent 6 months. Again, no 30-day late payment within the most recent 6 months. Charge-offs need to be paid or payment agreement in place. Monthly payment would be added into the DTI. Counties of availability. So we just hear about Charlotte. Like this program is piloting in 5 major cities. So it's Dallas, LA, a couple others, I'll list them. And I know Charlotte is of course, that's what we're talking about. But we're not just talking about the city of Charlotte, we're talking about the Charlotte greater area, right? So that includes Cabarrus County, which most people know Concord is there, Gaston County, Iredell County, Lincoln, Mecklenburg. So Mecklenburg is the county that Charlotte, North Carolina is in, as well as other popular places like Huntersville, Matthews. They're all in Mecklenburg County, they're just not in Charlotte. Rowan County, Union County, Chester County, Lancaster, and York, okay? Then I have a link because I was really curious. I just want to know, what are these neighborhoods, right? Like what neighborhoods in Charlotte are predominantly minority? And I know for some people, I've talked to some people, tried to get advice, and some of them are like, oh, why would you want to be in this type of program? They're probably going to put you in unsafe neighborhoods. Let's call it spade a spade. I know a lot of people are not going to want to come out and say this, but the reality is that, there's this notion that a minority area there's this projection like a minority area can't be safe, right? But we see there's a lot of prestigious minority areas in places like Atlanta and places like the DMV. You know, it's possible, but a lot of people's concern is like, why would I go buy a house in an area that's going to have maybe a lot of crime or, you know, a lot of things happening? What is the point of having the house there? Whatever. So my biggest thing about this program is I really want to know what areas are considered minorities. So he gave me this link, and I can share it, I guess, can I share? I think I should be able to share it in I'm going to share it in the description box. And basically you could put in the zip code and see if it qualifies. He specifically made it known to me that the zip code of 28205, which is Plaza Midwood, qualifies as an area with primarily minorities. So I was shocked. And you know, I always talk about Plaza Midwood being a good area, but I just put up Plaza Midwood. And the first thing I see is a $3 million property, $2 million. Is this right? $2 million. What? Wow. I've never seen these parts of Plaza Midwood. But these are like big 4-bedroom. Yeah, somebody do like 3-bedroom and see. 3 plus. Yeah. And that's the issue, because it's like these neighborhoods, these houses I'm seeing. Wow, 28205. Is he sure? I don't think this is Plaza Midwood, because these prices are looking wild. But basically with this site, you can put in the zip code and see if it'll qualify as the area. Yeah, Plaza Midwood is here. 81 is, this is very interesting. I'm really liking this map. I'll look into it later. I didn't have time today and I believe the other program, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. I believe the previous program that this is an extension of was the American Home Grants program. I believe that was it. But ultimately, would I look into this program? Yes, I would, just because I'm like, I don't have anything to lose. I mean, just because I look into it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to buy anything, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that. But I think that the way these rent prices are going, if I'm going to put like almost $2,000 towards rent, then it's like, why not, even if it's a 30-year mortgage and I'm getting interest, why not put that towards a house, which is actually mine, you know, when you're renting it. So that's the only argument I understand about buying. I just love the convenience of renting. Anyone that knows me, I like that when something is messed up, I call them, they come up the next day. I like that, you know, I can live in a better neighborhood, because the reality is that it's usually more affordable to rent in a decent neighborhood than to buy. Like the area I'm living in right now, the houses are insane. Like there's no way I'll be able to, unless I hit the jackpot or meet a rich man, there's no way I'll be able to buy a house in my current area, but I'm able to actually afford renting in it. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the advantage of renting, that I feel like it allows you to have an experience that maybe you wouldn't have to be able to experience if you wanted to buy a home. You know, so I'm not like, oh my God, I would never buy a house. I would never, but like, I just want, a lot of people, because we made a video like, oh, should single women buy a house? And it got a lot of traction, a lot of heat. People are saying that we're telling women not to buy a house. That's not what anyone is saying. You can buy whatever you want. This is a free country. It's America. All I'm saying is that people shouldn't try to like down people who don't care about buying a house. Like, I feel like there's this narrative like, oh, if you don't want to own a home, what are you doing? Like, it's like, to me, it's almost like telling someone, oh, you have to go back to school. No, everyone doesn't have to go back to school. Like, there's people that are making good money and then not going back to school. And there's people with all these degrees that are making $50K a year. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like it's an individual thing. Some people's lifestyle doesn't fit owning a home. You get what I'm saying? Some people's lifestyle doesn't fit going and getting advanced degrees. It doesn't. It just depends on what you're looking for and what you want at that moment in your life, right? So no one is against home ownership. Of course, we definitely know we need that, especially as minorities. You have your equity. Anything happened, you can pull money out your house. It's an investment. That's reality. That's what the guy told me. At the end of the day, a house is still an investment. No matter what people say, it is an investment. You know, like instead of paying money to other people, you are investing in yourself. So with that said, I want to know, do you guys have any questions? I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to keep it simple and hit the major facts. I know it's been 2 months. Most people watching this video, I'm sure, have already heard about this program. It is nothing new for them. So I don't want to be too redundant. I'm just going to do my further research as far as the neighborhoods that would qualify under this program, because that's something that I'm very, very curious about. Maybe I will make a video like neighborhoods that you can buy a home, who knows, under the Community Affordable Loan Solution Program. So If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will put in the description box some links and some more details pertaining to this specific program. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.